Nakauwi ka na ba ng Pilipinas at nais mong malaman ano ba ang mga pre-departure COVID-19 test travel requirements papunta ng Pilipinas ng iba't ibang mga airline companies? Nang sa gayon ay sigurado ka na pag-uwi mo ay ang pre-departure COVID-19 test sa mga fully vaccinated na may booster ay updated. Watch this video and find out. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga kabayan at kaibigan. Ako po si Jamie Iris at kayo ay nanonood ng Jamie Iris Talk TV kung saan pinag-uusapan po natin hindi lamang ang current events happening in and outside the country but also the updates regarding travel, ganun din po sa mga airlines. Marami po sa inyo ang nag-iwan ng mensahe sa aking comment boxes regarding airline questions, lalo na po sa kanilang pre-departure COVID-19 test requirements. Dahil ang iba sa inyo yung nangangamba, Jamie, makakauwi ba ako without any COVID-19 pre-departure test? Kung ako ay fully vaccinated at may booster, updated ba ang airlines? Updated ba ang airport? Meron pong ilan na nagkaroon ng challenges at meron din naman pong ilan na okay naman to at marami sa ating subscribers ang talagang nakauwi. Pero syempre, to give you also that peace of mind and reassurance na ito bang airlines na liliparan ninyo or you will fly with, ay updated na po ba ang kanilang mga websites or ang kanilang mga protocols and procedures? Kasi merong iilan po kahit sabihin na po natin dapat at talagang it is expected because it's the mandatory protocol as per IATF Resolution 168 na lahat po ng Filipinos or foreign travelers or foreign passport holders na uuwi sa Pilipinas na fully vaccinated and at least may isang booster ay hindi na po kinakailangan mag-present ng pre-departure COVID-19 test. Dapat lahat ng airlines at the same time ng airport ay updated. Pero, syempre, since this was just launched po, last May 30, may ilan pa rin pong mga airlines ang hindi updated. At merong ilang po mga kapwa travelers po, mga foreign, lalo na po mga Filipino passport holders po, ang naantala or let us just say, nagastusan ang hindi naman po dapat simply because hiningan pa rin sila ng pre-departure COVID-19 test kahit sila ay may booster. At alam nyo naman, ang presyo kapag sa airport medyo hindi lang doble, sometimes mas mataas pa. Now, para maiwasan natin to at syempre sa pagbiyahe ninyo ay magkaroon din po kayo ng kapanatagan ng loob. So ngayon, alamin na po natin ano po ba yung mga latest travel protocols po ng mga airlines na tinanong nyo po sa akin at malaman natin kung sila ba ay nag-i-implement na ng exemption for pre-departure COVID-19 for fully vaccinated na may booster na po, at least one shot. For all Emirates subscribers natin, kung kayo ay lilipad with Emirates Airlines, kung makikita po natin dito nakalagay, ayan po mga kabayan, nakita niyo po yung nakabox na kulay green. Ibig sabihin po, sinabi nila COVID-19 testing requirements from May 30, 2022, RT-PCR test and antigen test is no longer required for all vaccinated and boosted passengers, whether Filipino or foreign nationals, if they belong to the following criteria. First one, passengers 18 years and above who have received their primary COVID-19 vaccine and at least one booster shot. And then passengers 12 to 17 of age who have received their primary COVID-19 vaccine. And then last but not the least is passengers below 12 years of age regardless of their vaccination status who are accompanied by their parents or guardians. So mga kabayan, if you're flying with Emirates, yes, updated na po ang kanilang website and so far wala naman po nagiging problema ang mga subscribers natin at viewers na nag-travel with Emirates. So kung ikaw ay may booster, makakauwi ka na without any pre-departure requirements. And of course, for the rest, like the foreign national or the fully vaccinated traveler, whether foreign national or Filipino, at hindi ka may booster or you don't have any booster, then you still have to present your COVID-19 testing. And they also mentioned like what are the other requirements, for example, upon entry to the Philippines. Tingnan pa po natin yung ibang requirements for Emirates Airlines. So all unvaccinated Filipinos, so including those partially unvaccinated or whose vaccination cannot be validated. So RT-PCR for test taken at least 48 hours before departure. So kailangan nyo pa rin po ng COVID-19. At syempre, kinakailangan nyo po mag-hotel quarantine upon arrival. For unvaccinated minor, they must be accompanied by the meeting party for the whole duration of the quarantine. Below are the additional requirements. Now, those are for the 12 to 17 years old not fully vaccinated. They have to do hotel quarantine upon arrival sa Pilipinas. So yan po para sa mga unvaccinated. On top of that po, Filipino passengers who have recovered but still testing positive for COVID-19. So similar po ito sa ibang website na makikita po natin. Pero share ko na rin po sa inyo para at least clear tayo as we go along po sa different website for different airlines. Filipino nationals who have recovered from COVID-19 but test positive in the pre-departure RT-PCR test or antigen test may be accepted for travel if they are not able to present the following documents. So, kailangan po yung first positive RT-PCR test certificate for test taken at least 10 days but not more than 30 days before the date and time of your departure from the country of origin or port of embarkation. And then, when you again tested, you tested positive, so RT-PCR test taken not more than 48 hours before departure from the country of origin or first port of embarkation in a continuous travel to the Philippines, not including the layover, and provided that they have not left the airport premises or have not been admitted into another country during such layover. And last is you have to ensure that you present a medical certificate issued by a licensed physician stating that the Filipino national, number 1, was asymptomatic, mild, moderate, severe, or critical case of COVID-19, 2, has completed the mandatory isolation period, and 3, is no longer infectious, and last, has been allowed free movement and travel. So yun po dapat ang content ng medical certificate. So ayan po mga kabayan, mga Emirates Airlines passengers, you're all good to fly to the Philippines. Now, from the United Arab Emirates, commercial capital, city of the world, which is Dubai. Now let's move to the cultural capital of the UAE, and that is, which is the Emirate of Dubai. Now, let's move to the UAE's cultural capital, and that is Abu Dhabi. So, ang Abu Dhabi po ang cultural center of the UAE. And of course, when we say Abu Dhabi, we have Etihad Airways. So for Etihad Airways, are they updated already? Let us just take a look. Ayan po. So this is what Etihad Airways had mentioned. So sa una, you will only require a PCR test to fly from the UAE if your final destination requires one. So generic lang po yung minention nila dito. So they said, please check the requirements of the destination where you're flying to by searching for your final destination. So, papakita ko yan sa next page. Pero ito lang po sa mga nagtatanong for transit, if you're transiting in Abu Dhabi, follow the testing regulations for your final destination. If your final destination does not require a test, you will not need one to transit. So, it means, for example po, you'll be flying from the USA, the United Kingdom, and then nag-layover ka sa Abu Dhabi kasi Etihad yung flight mo. So, hindi ka nahahanapan ng RT-PCR test sa Abu Dhabi if, for example, ikaw ay fully vaccinated at may booster ka naman kasi hindi naman kinakailangan sa Pilipinas. So, they will just simply follow kung ano yung final destination requirement. Now, ang tanong, updated na ba ang Etihad? So, tingnan natin. Ito po, sinabi dito, you won't require a test if any of the below applies to you. You are fully vaccinated and have received at least one booster shot. Children under 12 accompanying you will also be exempted from testing. And last, you are fully vaccinated and age 12 to 17, no booster shot required. So yes, everyone. So if you will be flying with Etihad Airways, then definitely Etihad is updated. So, ayan po, you can take a screenshot of that just in case po na, meron po kayong screenshot in case lang po i-ask kayo. So, pakita nyo updated na ang website ng Etihad. Again po, mention, ito pa po, part ng website nila, traveling with children. Children under 3 are exempt from PCR testing. Upon entry naman po ito, all children 6 and above must wear a mask on every Etihad Airways flight. Children under 12 are exempt from the vaccination requirement, and when accompanying a fully vaccinated parent, guardian will also be exempted from testing to fly. Now, let's take a look from the UAE. Let us now fly to Doha, Qatar. Now, if you are flying with any of the Qatar Airways flight, everyone, so updated na ba ang website nila? Yes, finally, we did hear during May 30 the first implementation of the new protocol po. Meron pong ilang mga kabayan natin sa Jeddah, 4:40 a.m. Flight po nila papuntang Manila nagkaroon ng problema dahil nanghihingi pa po ng RT-PCR test kahit may booster na. So, thankfully, nag-update na rin po ang website nila at less na rin po yung naririnig ko from any of the viewers na nagka-problema sa Qatar Airways. Tingnan po natin ang website nila. Tingnan niyo po ito. Let me just share yung transit through Doha. Passengers who are transiting through Doha and not leaving the airport are not required to present any test result or certification. So, sa mga magta-transit sa Doha, ito po yung sagot sa katanungan po ninyo about the requirement of their departure country. Now, another question is, magpa-pre-departure COVID-19 ba kami, Jamie, or updated na ang Qatar Airways? So sabi po dito, fully vaccinated travelers aged between 12 and 17 and travelers below the age of 12 accompanied by fully vaccinated guardians are exempted from pre-departure. So that's quite great po. At least na-specify nila, di po ba? Pero paano yung 18 years old above? Nakikita niyo po itong parang malabo na references. Ito po yung actually website ng PAL. So ano po ba ang meron sa PAL? Bali ni-link na lang po nila kung ano ibig sabihin ng protocol ng PAL, protocol na rin ni Qatar Airways. So ang protocol ni PAL ay ito po. So sa PAL, the pre-departure COVID-19 test will not be applicable to the following: Filipino and foreign nationals age 18 and above who have received primary series of COVID-19 vaccine and at least one COVID-19 booster shot administered at any time prior to the departure. So same na po, dated na siya even for 12 to 17 years old na fully vaccinated and children below 12 years old. So yan mga kabayan, so kung nagtatanong po kayo sa dalawang airlines yan ha, Qatar Airways at Philippine Airlines, updated na po yan. Tingnan pa po natin. So, ito po yung iba pang COVID-19 testing on departure. So, binanggit lang po dito, again, yung sa Qatar Airways, fully vaccinated travelers, age 12 and 17. So, nabanggit na po natin to. At below the age of 12, accompanied by fully vaccinated guardians are exempted from pre-departure. But, the unvaccinated travelers must present negative COVID-19 RT-PCR test certificate, again, within 48 hours if it's an RT-PCR test and within 24 hours if this is actually an antigen test prior to departure. Now, next one, they also mentioned if you recovered from COVID-19 must present a proof of a positive PCR test taken 10 to 30 days prior to departure are allowed entry. So it means gumaling na po muna kayo, katulad doon nabanggit natin kanina, from COVID-19, pero kung nag-test pa rin kayo ng positive kahit may medical certificate, makakauwi pa rin po kayo. Same requirements discussed earlier na 3 dokumento po ang inyong kailangan i-provide. From Qatar Airways, let us just take a look. Turkish Airlines, napakadami din po ninyo na nagtanong sa akin, Miss Jamie, paano pag Turkish Airlines, yan ba updated na? Ang sagot dyan ay, yes, it's updated already. So, tingnan natin. So, sa Turkish Airlines, ito na po. Binox ko na po ng green yan. Ang nakalagay ay no proof of negative pre-departure COVID-19 test result required for vaccinated travelers or fully vaccinated travelers over the age of 18 who have received the primary series of COVID-19 vaccine and at least one COVID-19 booster shot are not required to have a negative pre-departure COVID-19 test result before traveling to the Philippines. Kasama na rin po ang fully vaccinated 12 to 17 years old at below 12 years old. So, yan mga kabayan, yung may mga flight po ng Turkish Airlines, we're all good. Updated na po sila ang kanilang website too. How about Oman Air? Naku, napakarami nyo rin po na magta-travel ng Oman Air. So, ito po ang sagot natin. Updated na ba ang Oman Air? Yes, mga kabayan at mga balikbayan. Ito po nakalagay. So, ang mga passengers daw po must have the following. Pero, negative COVID-19 RT-PCR or COVID-19 antigen test. Pero hindi ito naka-apply, so iba yung the way they state it, but the meaning is still the same. Instead of using the word exempted, they use the word this does not apply to passengers younger than 3 years old, passengers with COVID-19 vaccination certificate showing that they are fully vaccinated, and received a booster dose. So ayan po mga kabayan, exempted na po kayo kung may booster dose po kayo. At syempre nag-specify lang po sila ng mga tinatawag natin na brand ng mga COVID-19 vaccination. At syempre 12 to 17 years old din po na fully vaccinated. So that's for Oman Air. How about Malaysian Airlines? May ilan din po sa inyo na nagtanong sa akin yan nung nag-live ako. So ito na po ang sagot natin. So yan mga kabayan, sa Malaysian Airlines, updated na din po ang kanilang website. So ang ginamit po nilang terminology is similar to Oman Air. Sabi nila, this does not apply to passengers younger than 3 years, and then same na po sa mga 18 years old above na fully vaccinated at may booster, sa 12 to 17 years old na fully vaccinated at below 12 years old. So they're updated mga kabayan. So that's quite great. So Malaysia Air passengers, you're all good. So dapat lang kompleto ang documentation nyo at makakauwi kayong fully vaccinated na may booster ng hindi na kinakailangan ng pre-departure COVID-19 test. How about Singapore Airlines? So marami rin po, may ilan sa inyo nagtatanong sa akin about Singapore Airlines. Updated na ba sila? So, sa Singapore Airlines po, sabi po nila, COVID-19 test requirements for fully vaccinated passengers over the age of 18. Yan po, who have received their booster vaccine dose do not have to present a negative COVID-19 test result. Yehey! So mga kabayan, kung kayo po ay lilipad ng Singapore Airlines, updated na po ang kanilang website at exempted na po ang may mga fully vaccinated na may mga booster po. Ayan. Same thing po with the 12 to 17 years old na fully vaccinated at below 12 years old. Ayan po mga kabayan, I'm simply so happy. Other po na pinost nila that you can read there, if you're not vaccinated and not fully vaccinated passengers, of course, you will need a COVID-19 test result. So ayan yung option na binigay nila kung rapid antigen test or kaya RT-PCR. Yes. So, yan po, mga kabayan. And then, option number 3, sabi nila kung nag-positive kayo, ang RT-PCR test ninyo at kagagaling nyo lang po ng COVID-19. So, same po yung binigay nating requirements na 3 kanina, including the medical certificate. Now, let's take a look. Marami rin po nagtanong sa inyo sa akin regarding po yung airlines natin sa Israel. So, if you will be flying po with El Al Airways po or airline, so ito po, sabi nila, before you fly out of Israel, COVID test. Israel does not require you to perform a COVID-19 test before you depart from Israel. Please note that you might still be required to perform a COVID-19 test before your departure at the country if your country of your destination requires it. So again, follow lang po sa protocol ng Pilipinas. So yan po ang sinasabi po lang nila dito. Like for example, if a country exempts children from performing a COVID-19 test, then a child who travels to that country is still required to perform a COVID-19 test since the terms of exiting Israel requires it. Conversely, a passenger that holds an official vaccination certificate is exempt from performing a COVID-19 test for exiting Israel but may still be required to perform a test as part of the terms of entry into his or her destination. So in short po mga kabayan, they follow the ano po yung mandatory protocol sa country of destination, which is the Philippines, they will actually follow. Now, how about Saudi Airlines? Ito po talaga yung common question na share ko po ito sa isang video po natin para share ulit natin. So like si Annalyn, she's asking for it. So at this point in time po, for Saudi Airlines, hindi pa rin po sila updated. Kung makikita po natin, so Saudi Airlines hindi pa rin po updated. At this point in time po, for the Filipino citizen, makikita po natin na hindi pa rin nakalagay yung may word na exempted. Although ito po yung mga choices natin, yung Filipino age 18 and above who have received full vaccination and booster, hindi po nakalagay na may exemption. It seems like the way they phrased it, negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to departure from the country of origin will be required, and then in-enumerate nila yung fully vaccinated na 18 and above, and then fully vaccinated kahit may booster, then Filipino 12 to 17 na fully vaccinated at below 12 years old. So parang ang nangyari, kung ito yung nasa website nila, last updated nila May 30, ang dami na nagreklamo. Isa na po ako sa nag-raise ng concern sa ating government, kumbaga, isa sa mga government institutions natin na in charge po when it comes to coordinating with them. Siguro po inaayos pa rin po nila until now, so we're waiting for the result. Hindi pa po siya updated. Pero sa foreign national, kung makikita po ninyo, ito po yung natanggal doon po sa Filipino national, tong from this pre-departure testing, exempted from this pre-departure testing requirement. So, di ba po, kapag copy-paste na nakalimutan i-copy, siguro yung exempted from this pre-departure testing requirement, which is masakit kasi yun yung pinaka-importante and it can make a lot of difference. Yan po. And then, how about Kuwait Airways? So, sa Kuwait Airways po, updated na po sila. So yun po mga kabayan, ay update ko na lang po ulit kayo kapag may changes na sa Saudi Airlines, hoping very soon so that at least yung mga lilipad po with Saudi Airlines, katulad po ng nasabi ko sa inyo, meron po tayong kabayan na she was able to fly, na hindi po nagbibigay ng COVID-19 test kasi po may fully vaccinated siya at may booster. In-explain niya po doon sa gate, doon sa airlines at pinayagan po siya. However, marami din po sa inyo nag-aalangan, Ms. Jamie, paano yun? Hindi naman kami talaga pinayagan kahit sabihin namin. So siguro pang pinakamahalaga na lang is you call them before you actually go to the airport, nang sa gayon ay malaman ninyo, again, dapat talaga wala ng RT-PCR test or any COVID-19 testing kung kayo ay fully vaccinated with booster, pero para na lang po for your, kasi alam ko gusto nyo po syempre makauwi ng Pilipinas, so call first so that at least you will know. So pwede kayo makipag-discuss sa kanila at sabihin nyo sa kanila na exempted na. Doon sa protocol namin, pakicheck naman kung nag-update na on your part. So, malalaman nyo ang sagot nila. So, kung ano man po yung sagot nila, then for the meantime po, for the purpose of, makauwi kayo, comply nyo po muna. Kasi nga po, yun nga po, case-to-case basis may kabayan tayo na siya nakauwi, pero meron dong ilan, nag-message sa akin, Ms. Jamie, talaga nung tinawagan ko, meron pa rin daw po. So COVID-19 test na lang kami sa labas ng airport, mas mura kaysa sa loob. Naintindihan ko rin naman po. So mga kabayan, rest assured na balitaan ko po kayo, hoping may changes na very soon at malaman po ninyo from me. How about Kuwait Airways? So sa Kuwait Airways, tingnan natin, updated po ba sila? Punta po tayo sa live website po nila kasi medyo kakaiba para malaman yung travel requirements nila. They use an external link to actually do that instead of posting it on their website. Okay, so ito po, kung tayo ay pupunta sa Kuwait Airways, so ang tatype nyo lang naman dyan yung travel guidelines So pagpunta kayo sa travel guidelines, ito sasabihin nila, COVID-19 travel guidelines. So since the travel regulations of every destination continue to change frequently, it is the sole responsibility of passengers to ensure that they meet the entry and health requirements of the desired destination or transit if applicable. So click the link below. So click nyo po ito, IATAtravelcenter.com po ito. So nakilink sila with IATA. Ayan. I used to be an IATA certified trainer po. Kaya dahil po dati ako nagtrabaho sa airline company, so I used to train po mga managers at mga graduate managers po when it comes to basic about airlines. So anyway, ayan po. Click nyo lang po, I'm not a robot. And then, yan, papafill up lang po kayo. Alin dito yung traffic light. So, click lang po. Ayun, kasama pa yun. So, verify. And then, I understand the following. And then, submit. Ayan po. And then, hanapin nyo, ito lang po, mapa ng Pilipinas. Kung dito po ang lipad ninyo, click nyo yan. Makikita kung ano yung latest po na ating protocol. So, publish June 3. So, nakalagay na ba di ito? Ayan, check natin. Yes, tama po mga kabayan. Sabi dito, passengers must have negative. Tingnan po natin, try ko pong lakihan ng konti. If it will allow me to. Ayan po mga kabayan. So, passengers must have negative COVID-19 RT-PCR test. So, sinasabi po nila kung rapid antigen po ito o RT-PCR test. And then, ginamit na rin po nila yung kanina. Ginamit niyang ilang airlines. So, this does not apply to. So, hindi nila ginamit yung salitang exempted. Pero, nilagay po nila, this does not apply to. Ayan na po nakalagay. Passengers younger than 3 years old. Passengers with COVID-19 vaccination certificate showing that they were fully vaccinated and received a booster dose. Sinabi po yung mga brands, and then pati po yung 12 years old to 17 years old na fully vaccinated. So, in short, updated na po ang Kuwait Airlines, mga kabayan. So, yan po sa mga uuwi ng Pilipinas na Kuwait Airlines ang gamit, updated na po. And that's it po. Let us just take a look now po sa Cathay Pacific. So anyone who's flying to Cathay Pacific, I know si Mary Star, she does ask for this. So Cathay Pacific, are they updated already? So looking at the website of Cathay Pacific, yes, they're already updated. So they said, for travel restrictions, COVID-19 testing, no proof of negative pre-departure COVID-19 test result is required for vaccinated travelers. So what does it mean? Fully vaccinated travelers over the age of 18 who have received the primary series of COVID-19 vaccine and at least one COVID-19 booster shot are not required to have a negative pre-departure COVID-19 test before traveling to the Philippines. Ganun din pa sa 12 to 17 years old at below 12 years old. So in short, updated na po ang Cathay Pacific. So, sa lahat ng mga pasahero ng Cathay Pacific na pauwi na ng Pilipinas, so rest assured they're updated. Now, how about AirAsia? So, ang AirAsia naman po, meron din po sa ating mga nagtanong niyan. So, kung AirAsia naman po, ayan po, makikita natin na sinasabi po nila na again, the protocol changes from time to time. Pakita ko lang po ito sa inyo ha. Itong Philippine travel restrictions na binanggit po nila, ayan, sa taas, nire-require po nila at least mag-trace contact at tracing download na po ng mga applications so that at least you will be, kumbaga meron ka po. So, ganun po kasi, although hindi siya laging hinahanap, talaga pong nasa list ng mandatory, ano kasi yan ng kailangan kumpletuhin ng any traveler entering the Philippines. And then, ito po, share ko naman po sa inyo, itong red box, only for those who have flights domestically in the Philippines. They said travelers on domestic flight to Manila must be fully vaccinated. Travelers who are unvaccinated and partially unvaccinated less than 17 years old with comorbidities or pregnant woman that is not vaccinated are not allowed to fly unless traveling for essential. Again, these are only, this info is just for AirAsia. Okay, traveling for domestically in the Philippines. Now, regarding, is it already in their website kung exempted ka? Kung may fully vaccinated ka at may booster, hindi po siya directly binanggit. Here, you can only see, for example, May 30, effective. So, sinabi po nila yung lahat ng requirements for the rest. But then again, it will not mention, yung pinakahuli lang po dito is, sabi, fully vaccinated travelers from nationals of non-visa required countries shall be allowed to enter the Philippines subject to the following conditions. So, ito lang po, RT-PCR, COVID-19 test, not required. Ayan po yung nakalagay dito. So, RT-PCR or I think ano po to, rapid antigen test or antigen test, COVID-19 test, is not required. So, yun po, tandaan niyo po, fully vaccinated travelers. So, RT-PCR, or antigen is not required. Ngayon, baba na po ako ha, kasi hindi na relevant doon sa topic natin na pre-departure COVID-19. The rest, yun yung basic requirement. So ano ibig sabihin nila ng fully vaccinated? So yung fully vaccinated po sa kanila is, eto na po yung exemption. So hindi man sakto yung mga words na ginamit nila, so nakalagay naman po doon not required. So 18 years old above with who are fully vaccinated and at least one COVID-19 booster shot. So yun po yung not required. So updated na po sila. So that's quite great. And for the rest, unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, at fully vaccinated without booster, kailangan po ng COVID-19 testing. Ayan po. Recovered COVID-19 patients, same. Three requirements mentioned earlier po. 2 positive test po yung initial and then yung latest within 48 hours at medical certificate po na may detalyeng na mention po earlier. Last but certainly not the least, a lot of you are asking me about Gulf Air. So exempted na ba, Miss Jamie, kaming fully vaccinated with booster? O Miss Jamie, updated na ba ang website nila? So share ko po sa inyo. Pati na rin po yung experiences ng ilang subscribers po natin. Kapag pumunta po tayo sa website, punta po tayo sa actual website ng Gulf Air. So nakalagay po dito, do I need a negative or PCR certificate to board? Ang sabi po nila, passengers traveling to the kingdom. Ito po yung papunta sa kingdom of Bahrain as their final destination regardless of their vaccination status, landing in kingdom of Bahrain as their final destination do not require a negative PCR certificate to board. So papuntang Bahrain yan. Kung transit naman, may nagtatanong din po sa inyo, passengers transiting through Bahrain International Airport will need to meet the requirements of their final destination by visiting the IATA Travel Center before traveling and are not required to provide a pre-boarding negative PCR certificate. Passengers may always need to refer back to the authorities of their final destination to ensure that their documents will be accepted at the borders and that they may meet the language requirements. Now, Philippines. Baba lang po tayo dito. So, tinype ko lang po. Sabihin nila anong destination mo. So, tinype ko Philippines. So, ito po nakalagay lang, all passengers arriving, transiting, and departing at Manila, Ninoy Aquino Airport must visit Philippine travel restrictions to ensure they all have their requirements. So, pag kinlik po natin ito, it will bring us to the Bureau of Immigration website. So it means updated po ang Bureau of Immigration when it comes to our requirements po. So it means mga kabayan, updated ang Gulf Air dahil nga they're basing it from our Bureau of Immigration. And again, I have had viewers na po nakauwi na po sila from Bahrain or some are from Saudi even. Nag-transit lang po sila through Bahrain at nakauwi naman po sila at in-honor naman po yung kanilang One Health Pass. Ganon din po yung may booster sila at fully vaccinated. Hindi sila hiningan na po ng kumbaga COVID-19 testing. So with that mga kabayan, looking forward, nakatulong po sa inyo sa lahat ng mga Gulf Air passengers. So rest assured po, updated ang Gulf Air. So muli mga kabayan, looking forward, nakatulong po ang ating video vlog sa inyong lahat. At looking forward din po na sa inyong pag-uwi ay less na po yung stress ninyo dahil meron na po kayong kapanatagan kung anong update po sa inyong mga airlines. Kung meron pa po tayo, halimbawa may airlines kayo na gustong itanong, drop it on the comment box and then we will research about it. But again, looking forward na lahat naman dapat ay updated na. Pero naiintindihan ko kung kayo nag-aalala simply because, again, isang linggo pa lang naman po ang nakalilipas since it was implemented or in few days. So, looking forward na mas planchado na po ito at mas better na as the coming days, lalo na sa inyong pag-uwi. So muli, ako po si Jamie Iris, ang inyong Talk TV show host at iniimbitahan ko kayo na mag-subscribe sa aking channel so that you'll always get updated with videos na makakatulong sa inyo, sa travel ninyo, mga topics sa pag-uusapan po natin. We will talk, discuss, and chat. And at the same time po, if you find this video helpful and informative, pakiclick lang po ang like and I'm inviting you to watch again my video. So with that, sa lahat ng mga biyahe, have a pleasant and blessed flight. Tandaan po natin, saan man po tayong tako ng mundo, taas na tayo po'y mga Filipino. With that, I'll see you in my next video. God bless you all.